CM Punk comes out at Monday Night Raw after a fabulous debut at Survivor Series, which I know you guys have seen everywhere. The fans have gone crazy, including myself, going online, going nuts with the Seth Rollins reaction and the Seth Rollins middle finger over the top, explosion. That explosion was done rightfully so because CM Punk is back in WWE, and we all know that Seth Rollins isn't a CM Punk fan, and he has trashed and bashed him before for the things that CM Punk said and did outside of WWE. So that hate definitely stems from a real raw place, but WWE is using everything that CM Punk did outside of WWE to their favor, and they are ultimately building up this massive feud that they are now showing that they are saving for a future show, hopefully, fingers crossed, WrestleMania. So let's unpack that promo that CM Punk cut on Monday Night Raw. We got all the cheese out the way. We know Punk is back. We know Seth Rollins is livid. And let's unpack that promo he just cut, because it was a lot of what he did at AEW when he first came and when he came back again. And it's the usual business as usual, right? CM Punk is back, pandering to the fans. Thank you. I love you. I hear you. I know you. I see you. I feel you. All that good stuff. There's a lot of things that he said, though, between the cheesy lines. All right. He took certain shots to the wrestling world, not just the locker room. He was generalizing there in terms of being the best in the world and him wanting to get back to that. That's a clear motivation for Phil Brooks in real life outside of his character CM Punk. This guy has made enough money. He's done just enough to go and keep making comic books, keep making indie films, keep making little WrestleCon appearances. He could live the rest of his life without lacing boots and doing anything related to wrestling if he didn't want it, man. That's just a fact of life. This guy does not need WWE. And I know that WWE essentially doesn't really need him either. They have done just fine without him for damn near 10 years. They could continue to go on without him. And he's well aware of that now. All right. So he talked about how backstage everyone has, and there's a lot of truth to it. Everyone has welcomed him back. Everyone has hugged him. Everyone has kissed him in the cheek and everything he said. And he said that, not everyone is happy to see him, that just about everyone is happy he's back, but not every single person is happy. And I know he's referencing, it's a subtle reference to Seth Rollins, obviously. But most importantly, what I like here is that he's playing back into the character that he was when he was in WWE before leaving, the best in the world. That's something that he always hit the nail on the head over and over and over. I like that he's back to that he's focusing on that characterization of CM Punk. I love that there was no real name drops with AEW. Subtle references, yes. Talking about him being, the best on the mic, the best in the ring, the best in commentary, that's definitely taking shots at everything he's done, right? It's comparing himself to everyone and saying that he has set the standard that people are so afraid of because they can't reach that level. So he's there talking about, yes, Seth Rollins, but he's also there taking shots at everybody, man. WWE wasn't gonna want him to come in there and mention AEW and go off on those little rants. He's talking about him being a changed man, and that change started a few months ago, within the last year, where he was backstage at TNA. He was backstage at WWE. We heard the rumblings that he was going around town pretty much making amends, apologizing, being the bigger man, because he learned from his experiences outside of WWE, in AEW, in other environments that he was now involved with, and saw the difference in the way the machine works in WWE. The way the machine works with people backstage outside of WWE, and understanding that this is all a business and that's all it's ever really been. And at the end of Raw, what did he say in relation to that? I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. That's his damn focus, because it has to be. He's not there to make. He already has tons of friends, bro. He already has tons of friends. He even referenced AJ, which I know everyone has been dying for him to mention and name drop her, and he ended up doing that. So at the end of the day, that was probably one of the most flawless, perfect promos that he could have possibly have cut on his return to Monday Night Raw. Short and sweet, straight to the point. A couple cheesy lines here and there, pandering to the fans, but ultimately doing what? Showing that his character has evolved, but at the same time, he believes that he is the best in the world and he's there to prove it. And it's going to put him in the title picture immediately. It's going to put him in the title picture with Seth Rollins. And at the end of the day, him acknowledging the change, acknowledging and expect and sharing that, because a lot of people expect him to come out there and do the bitter Betty act. Welcome to the channel, Joshua. Thank you for subscribing. A lot of people expected that he was going to come out there and do the bitter Betty act, and he was just going to cry me a river. There's no point. There's no point. What's the point in that? And I'm glad that he was able to have some freedom. You felt that CM Punk had some freedom in that promo, and him acknowledging that he feels right at home is good for us as fans. Why, Lex? Why are you saying that? Why? He's just me writing the WWE because he was out of options. No, bro. He said it. He was right at home because he was with us, with the fans, the people that love him, the people that want him. All right? That's what this was all about. He didn't really mean that he was back home with Vince McMahon or with any. He meant back home with the fans, guys. He meant back home with the universe that revolves around CM Punk, that loves CM Punk. Yeah, Chris, he went to shows backstage while being suspended from AEW. He went to certain shows for like WWE and TNA and things like that, and he talked to some of his old colleagues. There was rumors of him having talked to Triple H. He had briefly talked to Triple H because Vince McMahon didn't want him backstage, but he had talked to The Miz and certain people there, and everybody felt like they had a healthy encounter with CM Punk, showing growth, showing a different version of himself. Because let's face it, the whole world was in disbelief and was a little hurt when they heard what a bitter CM Punk had to say about everything that went on backstage. So even coming out tonight on Monday Night Raw, sharing redemption, sharing evolution, and sharing even something that Paul Heyman told him, because he said the wise man, and I was kind of hoping maybe there was a Vince McMahon reference in there somewhere, but it was pretty much a Paul Heyman reference. And to sound like he just seems like he's in a healthy state of mind in terms of just genuinely being happy to be back. And that oozes through the TV. Like when we saw him in AEW, he looked like, yeah, he had a chip on his shoulder when he came back, but he still looked like he was annoyed at the people backstage. I mean. I think that he's one of those guys that he's a loudmouth. He feels entitled to certain things. And, he's earned a lot of the entitlement he feels he deserves with the young, wrestlers in AEW not really respecting him and him commanding that respect and standing up for himself and speaking up for himself. He didn't want to be there anymore. That's why he lashed out at Jack Perry. That's why he lashed out at Tony Khan, and he got fired, and he's back where he belongs. CM Punk is a big brand. He's very well aware of that. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. Almost sounded like Brock Lesnar in that final moment there, exiting the show. But I do want to see where the story goes. I want to see how far they take the bitter rival feud with Seth Rollins. I'm happy that man, he said it too. Hell froze over. I mean, that's something that Triple H tweeted out over the weekend when they took a picture together. I love this competitive spirit, man. He ain't the same wrestler. We'll see how he does in the ring. I don't know, man. You haven't seen his matches in AEW. Come on, bro. We ordered the pay-per-view at All In London, and he had a great match with Samoa Joe. He's really good in the ring still, especially with the pacing that he's been able to do. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I didn't like a lot of the characterization he did in AEW. Some of the matches, like against Powerhouse Hobbs, were kind of, lackluster and stuff like that. But I feel like the way he's going to be used in WWE, the people that are in WWE that are going to match up with him, starting off with Seth Rollins, I think they're going to handle business right, and it's going to be awesome. I'm just ecstatic, and I can't wait. I love that he was rocking his new shirt already. I love the Titatron that they set up for him with his flag and the best in the world. And they're kind of, if you notice, they had his old logo with the arm and the lightning bolt. They had the best in the world logo. They had the flag. It was like almost different generations of CM Punk's character, and it all came together for this iteration that we just saw. So if Triple H and CM Punk can make up anything is possible for sure, man. What really ruined um the relationship and it made it feel unrepairable was how strongly CM Punk felt about WWE. Okay? Because truth of the matter is WWE has worked with so many wrestlers after they've left and returned. Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of those guys that refused to fold for Brock Lesnar and was super, super not just annoyed, but destroyed by this idea that he was going to have a no build match against Brock, and he just wasn't having it, and he walked out on the company and never came back for a long time. So Stone Cold has done that. A lot of wrestlers, CM Punk is not the first, and he won't be the last. What Mercedes Moné did, that's her name now, but Sasha Banks in WWE did. Don't be surprised if we see her back in WWE soon enough with Triple H in charge. I feel like he felt he deserved his flowers because he did that in WWE when it came to people like John Cena, Undertaker, etc. Look, man, I just think that CM Punk is just too big. And he does deserve that respect and does deserve, his flowers. But at the end of the day, he just wasn't getting that acknowledgement and that support from the crowd. Not from the crowd, but from the AEW locker room. And not everyone backstage is going to be like the people in the crowd. Not everyone's going to be receptive. No one's perfect. They have their fair share of issues. He wanted to be the grizzled old vet to the locker room over there, and it just didn't work out. And I know like guys like Matt Riddle are bitter that WWE let him go, and a lot of people are looking at WWE as fools for signing him on again. And a lot of people are looking at this as like a ship that's gonna sink. It ain't happening, man. Let tonight's promo be the perfect example of the things to come with CM Punk. We're gonna get a lot of great moments, and this is gonna be an epic finale to his career. And I'm just happy that it didn't end with him being fired. I see what you did there with the acknowledgement. Do you prefer the old Code of Personality or the remastered version? Honestly, I know that there's like subtle differences with the new one and the old one. I like them. I think the message being sent is the same. I think the overall feel of the song is the same, and I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna nitpick here. So CM Punk's promo rating, for it being short and sweet, direct to the point, not mentioning AEW, I'm gonna go ahead and just 5-star, 10 out of 10, whatever. It delivered, and I like that he was Phil for a second, right? Big Bill Phil, like he calls himself, and he was CM Punk for another moment. So we were able to see two versions, the character and the real man, and I like that. I like that he didn't stay out of character for as long as he has done in the past. Like I remember his after the first couple promos in AEW, he did a lot of pandering. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm back because of this and that. I'm glad that it was very, boom, 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 boom. So we'll see where this goes, guys. Hit me up in the comment section. How do you feel about his return promo and his involvement with WWE? I'm ecstatic. I love it. I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait to see more from Big Bill Phil. That's his nickname on here.